A highly collectible and fun game just came out for the Nintendo Wii U, and that is Mario Party 10. Hey Nintendo fans and collectors, Lithium here from my channel Nintendo Collecting, bringing you an unboxing video and review of the Mario Party 10 with the Mario Amiibo. This Mario Amiibo is actually from the Super Mario line that just came out, and this one's actually really hard to get unless you buy this specific version, so that's essentially why I picked this up. The price of this is anywhere between $60 and $70 depending on your region, and usually bigger boxes are collectible to Nintendo fans, so I think this version is an excellent thing to have in your collection if you're going to get Mario Party 10 anyways. Let's just take a look at the box packaging first. We have the Wii U logo up here with Mario Party 10. Good picture of Big Bowser there and Mario on the side. This does say Amiibo right there, so you know, and great picture of Mario right through that kind of, it's his own packaging I think is what they use, which is really intelligent. And this says Mario Party 10 plus Mario, I guess that's the name of the packaging, just like it does say on the top here. The only other thing to note here is there's some cool design choices of some Mario items actually along the top, which looks interesting. On the side, it shows you exactly what you will be getting, the Mario Party 10 game, as well as that Mario Amiibo, of course. On the other side, we have a game board, but above the game board, I just want you to note these great expressions on these characters' faces. Peach looks kind of funny looking at Mario, Bowser's there in the background, but Luigi just gets me every single time. He looks really cool, he looks very frightened and kind of concerned about Mario. Then you have the picture of the game board, and below this it just says some information about Amiibo within the game. You can add your Amiibo to the game and play as your Amiibo in Amiibo Party mode, which is a specific mode just for Amiibo, which is pretty cool. There's also customized game boards to match participating characters and power up your Amiibo with tokens while you play in those modes, which is pretty interesting that they're doing something. On the bottom of this is pretty white packaging, nothing really to note there. And on the back, it lets you know quite a bit of information about the game. 3 parties to play, including Meebo Party, which is the newer one. There's Bowser Party, which you can play actually with 5 players. 1 player plays as Bowser and tries to mess everyone over, which is actually really interesting to me. I think I'll like that mode. Then there's the other modes, which is Mario Party, which is pretty classic. That one you actually do go around a board, but it looks like, I think in this mode, it really does depend, but I think in this mode you actually travel like Mario Party 9. You go together as a group around. And then there's Amiibo Party, which is a little bit more similar to older style of Mario Party games. However, the boards are kind of simplistic, but it's something unique that you can actually use your Amiibo with, which is pretty cool. And there's over 70 new minigames and many extras. Most of these actually have over 70 new minigames in a lot of them. And the box packaging, thankfully, actually does give us the year. A lot of them do, but some of them don't, just in case you were wondering. Okay, let's actually open this up. I think I talked for long enough about the box, but I was just pretty interested about it because there's a lot to it. It's pretty interesting to me. So here we go. Let's actually open this up and take a look at what this comes with. There's one little sticker there that I had to kind of just get opened, and I used my X-Acto knife. And I want to keep this in pretty good condition, so let's see if we can actually take this out. There we go. Excellent. So in the box, you actually do have just the game and that Amiibo. There's nothing else that comes in the box. Just going to set the box down over there. So there's the Amiibo, and there's the game itself. First, let's get the game out of the way. So let's open this one up. Pretty good packaging actually on this. It's very similar to the front packaging on that. And on the back, it just says the exact same stuff, so I'm not going to take a look at that. But the side, it does say Mario Party 10 right there. And there's a picture of a game die, actually, with Mario's face on it. That's pretty clever for them to do. I actually like that. Hopefully you can get a shot of that as well. And let's open this up. Opening a new game. Always something to it. My wife always makes fun of me and just goes, "You opened it? How did you just open that? Ooh, it was sealed. It was probably worth a lot." No, it's not worth a lot. I want to play my games. I don't want to keep too many of them sealed. It doesn't really make sense to me. So there is the game disc. That's pretty cool packaging with the game disc. I like it. And I really hate that Nintendo doesn't really have any inserts. They give you this, viewing the electronic manual. Give me a real manual. Just print the manual if you're going to print this. Please, Nintendo, just print the manual. I know we're trying to be environmentally friendly, but for a collector, I really want to have a manual with it. So there's all it comes with, actually. But let's get to this Mario Amiibo. He looks like he's in a different style, and I do have the other Mario Amiibo from Super Smash Bros. To compare him to, which I will do. And this has the white background style of packaging, Mario on the side. It says Super Mario up there, so you know what series this is from. Ages 6 and up. He's in a pretty cool pose, which we will get to. Nothing really to note on the bottom. On the back, this is the specific packaging for Mario Party 10. So you wonder if these will actually come out with other games and maybe have just a different backing, but maybe the same front at some point. Let's use our X-Acto knife to cut around this figure, like I have been with all of the other ones. And it's kind of strange to me that they have two different characters for Mario, or two different Amiibo for Mario, and for a lot of the other characters. Toad's the only one unique to that Super Mario line. I did unbox Toad already. You can have a look in the description below to other Amiibo unboxings if you're interested in seeing those. But I think if you're going to have another Mario, why wouldn't you just make them generic? Why would you have one specific to Mario Party 10? I really thought this would just be a generic one that would be used for a lot of different Mario games, not just for Mario Party 10. So I'm kind of confused with it, but maybe Nintendo's just maximizing profit. Maybe they know they've got us, and a lot of us will buy all of their Amiibo, because I probably will, as a Nintendo collector. I think I kind of have to at this point. Now I feel pretty committed considering how many I did buy already. And we're just going to peel this up. I think I have to just cut this out a little bit more. There we go. Peel it up, and you can pull the figure out really easily, just like that. I'm going to keep that great style of box packaging, actually. We're just going to put that right there. Going to peel this down and slide out Mario. And here's Mario with that red base. Now that base is different than the Super Smash Bros. Base. You can also tell which character these are from based on the base. A black one with the Smash logo, obviously from Smash Bros. The red one with a checkerboard bottom is obviously from the Super Mario series. This figure looks pretty well detailed. Let's just get a good look at this guy. I like the pose that he's in. It's very charming to me. He's got his hand up in the air, and he's got a hat with great detail on it as well. There's some detail on the top of the cap. If you look at his overalls, there's some nice detail work with his buttons, and his gloves look like they're pretty well made as well. The back, you have some slight indentation for some markings, and his shoes are quite well done. His hair is good, and it looks like I can see some seam work maybe right along here, but other than that, this looks like it's a pretty well made figure. The base, that checkerboard, looks pretty cool, and on the bottom it just says Made in China, Nintendo, Amiibo, and it says a little bit of other information if you needed to read it all. It's right there for you with some numbers. It stands pretty tall, so let's just get the height of this guy for a second. The height of him is... he looks like he's almost 3.25 inches tall, maybe. And in terms of the rest of the world, we've got... it looks like 80 to 85 millimeters, or 8.5 centimeters max height, which is pretty acceptable, I think, pretty tall. If you want to compare him to the Mario Amiibo that's already out for Smash Bros, he's quite taller, especially his hand kind of is over him, so he's definitely standing up a little bit taller. And you can notice some differences, actually, in these two figures. So when you're looking at the one, let's look at the backs of them to get that idea. There's a lot more detail work, actually, on the one on the left from Super Smash Bros. His jeans have this kind of texture to them, and on this one there's no texture at all. The blues look like they're a slightly different color, and the shoes look pretty similar, I think. Maybe just a slightly different color of shade of brown, which is interesting that they actually changed those. The gloves look obviously comparable, but they're in a different pose. The hat, that's interesting to note. If you look at the symbols on the hats, and I don't know why they did this, but definitely the one on the right looks a little bit bigger than the one on the left, and the red actually Mario's wearing pops a lot more. So I think what they were going for is maybe this is a more nitty-gritty, harsh fighting style Mario that's just more severe because he's trying to actually fight in Super Smash Bros. So the light and all the different features on it kind of are inspired by Super Smash Bros. And this one's a lot more charming, a lot more lighthearted, a lot more colorful, and kind of like a bigger design and a more happy design because obviously it's for Mario Party. Just interesting to note those kind of few changes that they made to these Amiibo figures. So the Mario figure that I get, this one, it makes me feel a lot more charmed, I think. I would give this one probably, it doesn't have as much detail as the other one. I really like this one though. I think if you're picking up a Mario Amiibo, you really have to make the decision, do you want one that looks like he's fighting with a fireball? I'm not a huge fan of that fireball. Or do you want one that has a lot of charm to it? I would give this one a 9 out of 10. I quite rather like this one, and I like the checkerboard base. I think that was a good decision, and the red base actually looks pretty cool as well. I like the pose. Thank you so much for watching my Mario Party 10 unboxing in the big box with the Super Mario version of the Amiibo figurine. Feel free to comment below, first of all, what do you think of this big box version? Do you think it'll be collectible over time? And what do you think of this new Mario Amiibo? Do you think they're just trying to cash in, or do you think it's a really good idea to have different waves of Amiibo for different games? Now feel free to fill that like bucket, follow me on all the social media links in the description below the video, and remember, as always, go collect them all and keep smiling while gaming.